On the heels of our big winter storm, we're tracking the next atmospheric river in the forecast. I'm ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods. Now, this next weather system is going to be quite a bit warmer. This last one was more of a typical cold winter storm, brought snow levels down into parts of the foothills. This one is going to bring higher elevation rain, and that means we're going to be putting rain on top of snow. Checking some of the river levels just because that can mean a lot of water flowing down the hill. The only couple ones that we're watching at monitor stage are going to be the Tisdale Weir along the Sacramento River. That has a passive weir system, so it's basically just when it gets to a certain elevation with the water, it is just going to passively overflow into a floodplain that is basically set up to hold that water. Michigan Bar at monitor stage, as well as Rio Vista, but everything else in the green. I did want to make a quick check at I Street Bridge at the Sacramento River. That's right in the heart of downtown Sacramento, and even that one, yes, it is going to rise just a little bit. And if you're out and about and you're traveling along I-5, you're going to notice it is muddy and it is flowing fast and full along the Sacramento River. But again, the crest is going to be well below that monitor stage, so really not too much to be concerned about yet. We'll watch that next system, but overall, it does look like things are going to be moving okay, and mostly because we're not going to be putting up anywhere close to the totals like what we saw with this last storm. Here's the rundown. The final numbers coming in today, anywhere from about 80 inches of snow to over 115 inches of snow. So we were close to putting down 10 feet of snow from this last storm system. And again, it brought snow all the way down to almost 1,000 feet in elevation. Rainfall totals also equally impressive. It doesn't take much. Really, in northern and much of Southern California, it's feast or famine. We're either in a dry stretch or a wet stretch. And this one turn the tides back to a very active storm cycle. We saw over 6.5 inches of rain for Auburn, Jackson, 5 inches of rain, Folsom in the valley, 4 inches of rain. Now, it is on the east side of the valley, so we tend to squeeze out just a little bit more moisture there. But Stockton, solidly at low elevation here, almost 4 inches of rain. Marysville, 3 inches. Sacramento, about 3 3/4 inches of rain. In Modesto, over 2.5 inches. Again, really great numbers coming in here. It was tough to deal with for the commute, the travel. All those things are in the rear view mirror. So now we can just look at the green grass and look at those full reservoirs and really see some great looking numbers here throughout the state. Most of Southern California, those numbers came up dramatically at the early part of the water year in October and November. December, January has been pretty dry, but now February is proving to be a decent month for us. Snow water equivalent's kind of an interesting storyline here. The snow that we saw, very light and fluffy. It wasn't the Sierra cement that holds a tremendous amount of water content, but it did bring up at least these numbers into a territory that feels a bit more comfortable as we start to edge closer to the end of a really active water year. About 55 to over 100% of average to date. We're just about a month and change away from that April 1st number, since March is knocking on our door here. And those numbers a little more bleak, only at about 40 to 80% of average. April 1st, by the way, for those of you that aren't familiar with that, the reason why we like to look at those numbers is because that's the date at which we see less in the way of snowfall and more in the way of snow melt. So anything that we have in that free storage savings account of water in the high country stored as frozen precipitation and starts to melt off during the warmer part of the year, pretty much is what it is by April 1st. So the statewide situation, we're at 75% of average to date, but you can see the contours, how they cover all the way deep into Southern California, even over the Tehachapi Pass there along the Grapevine on I-5, 59% of our April 1st average to date. So we need a little bit more, but as far as that contour, it is looking really nice right now. Major reservoir supply levels were running about 55 to 85% of capacity, so those reservoirs really healthy and full, over 100% of average to date. And even as we make our way southward here, it's looking good as well for New Melones, Don Pedro, San Luis, Millerton coming up as well. We're over 100% of average to date, 66% snowfall, and more to come. Keep in mind, we haven't even gotten to that snow melt period. Here's a look at our weather timeline. We are going to get back into a weather impact alert next week, but in the short term, freezing low temperatures on our Friday morning, more in store for Saturday morning, some light showers and mostly cloudy skies on Sunday. But that was going to be the beginning of what we were looking at early in the forecast period of kind of opening up that next storm door. That timeline has shifted. So here's a look at how things are going to play out. We get into the beginning of our weekend with a cold weather advisory. We're talking temperatures deep into the 20s and even some single digits all the way until about 10 a.m. on Saturday. And then we'll see some nice warming for the afternoon. But this type of cold weather is going to impact people, pets, plants. Just be aware, get as many people and things inside as possible because those temperatures are going to be quite cold for tonight. Looking at the numbers again, between about 5 and 10 degrees for the Tahoe Basin, 30s solidly through the foothills, and we're still in the 30s for the valley, just a little bit warmer than where we were on our Friday, with lows starting off in the freezing, right around the freezing mark or so. Our forecast highs warming nicely. Again, we really haven't seen temperatures like this in a couple of days. Once that cold air started to work in during the middle and early part of the week, it dropped our highs into the 40s. So this is going to be a nice jump back closer to average. Our average high about 62 for the Central Valley. Friday evening into our Saturday, it is dry. We'll pick up occasional cloud cover, but for the most part, we are dry pretty much through the entire weekend. Here's that storm line that I was talking about on Sunday. It makes a really interesting turn. It starts to approach Northern California, and then it really pulls to the north, and we end up on Sunday with basically a dry day. Another great weekend day to perhaps hit the high country if you've been postponing your travel. Thank you from all the emergency officials. They thank you for that because it has been quite a problematic scene up there. Headlines include when that next weather impact alert will take shape Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. We get back to rain and snow, extra travel time. But again, this storm system playing out so much differently than the last one coming through. Now, it looks pretty impressive here. Big plume of moisture heading in, and this one will be a quintessential atmospheric river as it taps into some of that moisture coming in from the Pacific. A nice little plume out in the Hawaiian Islands. There's the counterclockwise circulation of the low, kind of making that connection. But what you'll see is a high pressure ridge starts to build in, and it's going to bump that storm track temporarily into the Pacific Northwest, resulting in fairly dry weather to start us off through the weekend forecast and early next week. It's not until we dig deeper into our Tuesday that we start to draw in the main line of rain and snow. But look at this. We're not seeing much in the way of snow up there in the high country. Our snow level is going to be quite high. Atmospheric rivers, when they first start off, tend to pull in a little bit more of a warmer feature into the storm. And then we start to get the colder air working in behind. But even when we do so, Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to see that snow line down to about 7,000 feet. That's close to about where we have many of those passes, Donner, Echo Summit. Some of the other ones are closed, like Monitor and Sonora passes. But we'll see basically that snow line much higher with this one. We were at 1,000 feet with the last one. That's why I was saying, hey, we're going to watch those river levels right now. They look okay. We're not getting any guidance in terms of, hey, we're looking out for the flooding or anything downstream. We're not seeing any of that, but we'll be monitoring. As far as the model snowfall totals, only picking up about an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow from the incoming system, and we'll pick up about a ½ inch of rain in the valley, closer to about 1 inch to 2 inches throughout the foothills. So there's not a ton of rain coming in with this. It's just something that, hey, we're going to see some warming temperatures, a slightly warmer storm, and that's why we'll watch it. Likely warmer in our long-range forecast for those of you that are really waiting to dry out, warm up. It is just around the corner, likely drier as well. And so we should have a pretty good stretch after we get through this next storm system to get some decent weather in here and much better travel situation, especially in the high country. Highs for our Saturday in the upper 30s, low 40s. After we get to those morning lows in the single digits, we'll warm up nicely. 50s and lower 60s throughout the lower elevations of the foothills, and then 50s to near 60 across the coast and the Delta. We'll carry that inland throughout the capital region and the northern San Joaquin Valley. A cold start to the day. Nice warming for the afternoon. And turning our attention to our extended forecast, after seeing those highs in the 30s for the Sierra on Saturday, we warm into the 40s. That just kind of showcases the difference in this particular storm system coming through. It's rain for the foothills. It's rain for the Bay Area as well. Looking at our extended forecast, we've got our weather impact alert in place Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. After that, it is drier, it is warmer, and we even get a little taste of spring around the corner.